The No Fate channel, checking in. On this episode of Dad's Home Gym, we are going to be time traveling. That's right, we're going to go forward in time, we're going to go backward in time, a little bit Memento, a little bit Looper, and a whole lot of Time Cop as we review from Fringe Sports this badass utility bench. First things first, though, we need to get this thing assembled. First things first, I need to give all of you a massive thank you for using my affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. Now, all the proceeds from those links goes right back into the channel, helping me pick up future pieces of equipment to review for you. Now, assembly time, 10 minutes. Took me 15 minutes, but I was filming it. I'm going to show you the full unboxing and assembly at the end of today's video for those of you who are interested. As far as the specs, this badass utility bench comes in at 62 respectable pounds, 11 gauge steel. It has a 12-inch wide pad that is 47 inches long. As far as the total bench is 48.5 inches long and sits at 19.25 inches high. And that's something we are going to get into at the end of today's video. As far as wheels, it does have some super beefy wheels, making it easy to maneuver from side to side. And the handle, oh, it's a beefy big boy handle. One of the big claims to fame from Fringe Sport when it comes to this badass utility bench is the Gecko Grip pad. As far as cost, the brass tacks, it comes in at $269 delivered. Keep in mind, that's an everyday price, and when they have sales or promotions, that's going to bring that price point down. As far as my use on this, I've done everything you can think of and a few things you can't. Obviously, I benched on it with barbells, with dumbbells. I threw plates underneath the legs of this thing and turned it into a poor man's incline and decline bench press. I also did one-legged step-ups. I did burpees across this thing. I slept on it. I ate on it. I did box jumps on it. I did abs on it. I did one-arm rows. You name it, I did it on this bench in order to give you the real review. And now it is time. It is time for Fate of the Union, where I give you my final thoughts after beating up this badass utility bench. And God's honest truth, when I first bought it, when I first ordered it, I didn't think I was going to like it, in large part because the pad is only 2 inches thick. I've just been used to competition pads, which tend to be 3 to 4 inches, and I thought it just wasn't going to feel right. Man, was I wrong. Now, this pad is only 2 inches thick, but it holds up. It is really firm, even at the sides. Oftentimes, when you get those competition pads or you get a really thick pad, it's firm in the middle, but as you get closer to the edges, it just goes to pot. This pad is legit. It's firm, but it's not uncomfortable. And it is absolutely grippy. You are not going to move anywhere. When I was inclining and declining on this and making a poor man's version of those type of benches using extra plates, I didn't go anywhere once I sat back on this. As far as the height differential, now this is something that caught me off guard. With most competition benches, they come in at 17 inches high so that they can standardize it for those of you who are going to enter bench press competitions. Most of you watching this will never enter a bench press competition, especially me. I thought I was going to be thrown off by the height just in terms of my use, again, with competition benches. And I found that I actually liked the 2.5 inches higher of this bench than compared to a competition bench. Reason being, I ain't getting any younger, and it was a lot easier to sit down and actually stand up off of this bench, and it just felt more comfortable getting down and using it for all sorts of different things, whether it was for abs, for For one arm concentration curls, I will tell you that you do notice that extra 2.5 inches in terms of not having to kind of squat down that low and come up that high. It certainly caught me off guard again, only because I thought it was going to be more of a nuisance. And in fact, it is a huge benefit. Another thing that caught me off guard in a good way was the stability. Now, in a competition bench, you get 2 legs in the back and 1 leg in the front, leading to the front of the bench to be a little bit unstable and have a little bit of wiggle on it when you're trying to do any type of exercise that's geared on the front of the bench, like V raises, like abs, like one arm curls, like anything. If you're on that front of the bench and your weight's not distributed across the bench on a competition bench, it comes to be a little bit unstable. Now, the Bad Ass utility bench has 4 posts, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. And not only they've got these grippers on here as well. I'll tell you, this thing doesn't go anywhere. I was able to do abs right off the edge of this bench with just my bum on this front side, and it didn't budge. And that's something, if you're in a home gym and you're going to be utilizing this for more than just benching, that's something that you do want to take in. Now, another thing that I happen to like, and this just tends to be my preference, so take it with a grain of salt, is this bar, this handle. This is a badass handle, and I happen to really like this loop style handle when it comes to benches, because I find it tends to be easier to grip it and rip it, and you don't have to bend down all the way to the bottom to grab the handle down here. You can just kind of Guido hand it up top here, and you are off to the races. So why would you want to consider this Fringe Sports Bad Ass utility bench? Well, number one, you might want to avoid a competition bench if you never plan to bench competitively. But more importantly, if you're looking for that Swiss Army knife of benches where you're going to do more than just bench press on it, this one might be right for you. The added stability and that extra 2.5 inches of height do make this ideal for a lot of multivaried exercises and uses when it comes to this bench. I happen to really love this handle, and frankly, the pad, it is as grippy as they claim. Now let's talk about value. On this Dad's Home Gym series, I am always trying to find value in equipment because listen, I know money's tough. At $269 delivered, you are getting a good product for that price point as far as the construction, 11 gauge steel, the quality, the 365 days of no drama returns. I mean, think about it. You could use this for like 364 days, just shy of 1 year, and you could call them up and return it if something didn't strike your fancy. I am a big fan of that type of policy because it kind of takes away a lot of the risk on your end on whether you're going to find this to be up your alley. As far as saving money, which we all like to do, I do know Fringe Sport from time to time throws sales and promotions that's going to bring this price point down. Another thing they do all the time is they include it in their packages. So if you are starting off your home gym and you're looking to maximize the benefit of making a big purchase, you can buy one of their package deals, and that will include this bench. And of course, you'll get those savings because you're going to be buying in bulk. Woo! The Fringe Sport Bad Ass utility bench has 4 pieces to assemble. In top-down fashion, you have 2 legs. Those legs are denoted by 1 with the wheels. Those are to be put in the rear, and 1 with the Fringe Sport logo. Those are to be put in the front and to be aligned with the Fringe Sport handle for the middle base piece. On top, you have the 2-inch pad. Step 1, align the metal frame with the rear and the front feet at the same time. This will allow you to place the washers and the screws much easier. Next step is to place all of the washers and the screws and hand tighten. After this, you do want to then use a ratchet to tighten them all down, and I would try to move around the different bolts, tightening them a little at a time in order to get a nice, even, level fit. The next step is to align the pad holes with those to the corresponding frame and then secure the bolts. finally, enjoy. If you've made it this far in the video, then your time traveling has ended. You and I are officially best friends, band of brothers style. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this badass utility bench. If you came this far, give the video a like, hit that red subscribe button. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.